Tourists flock to the Mediterranean as if the climate crisis isn't happening. Hard, this year's heat and fire will force change. I don't get this. Like, I'm just, it always sends me this kind of today's stories on my weather application. But then it's like just, most of them are just, doomer nonsense. I don't really, I would just read it and then just like comment on it, because this is like, I don't know. Thousands of people on the beach, children reportedly falling off evacuation boats, panic, people fleeing with the clothes on their backs. It felt like the end of the world, according to one tourist. Wow, I mean, dude, there's never been a story on this Google thing, whatever it's called, I don't even know, where it's like positive. They always put negative stories. But it's just bullshit. The fires sweeping through the Greek islands of Rhodes and Corfu are showing us favorite holiday destinations are no longer as safe as climate change intensifies. Really, I've been to Corfu. Granted, it was like 20 years ago, or no, more than 20 years. It was late 90s, but what is changing? Like, it's always been hot there. It's fucking Greece. It's a hot climate there. For decades, tourists have flocked to the Mediterranean for the northern summer. Australians, Scandinavians, Brits, Russians all arrive seeking warmer weather. After COVID, many of us have been able to travel once again. Yeah. Whatever. I don't even like Mediterranean, to be honest. But this year, the intense heat waves have claimed hundreds of lives in Spain alone. Yeah, well, Spain is probably the hottest country in Europe. Major tourist draw cards such as the Acropolis in Athens have been closed. Climate scientists are stunned by the ferocity of the heat. Whoa! Really? I mean, Athens is Greece. It's always been hot. Hell, I remember just 10 years ago, I talked to this girl from Greece. And I mean, so she lived in Thessaloniki, which is like the same as Athens. It's probably even hotter there, but I was like checking, this was like more than 10 years ago, maybe 2011. And it would be like May, right? Not even summer yet. But it was like every day 35 degrees. So, I mean, it's always been hot there. The fuck are they trying to say that, like, no, it's only, this year is the worst? No. This year is likely to force a rethink for tourists and for tourism operators. I expect to see more trips taken during shoulder season, avoiding the increasingly intense July to August summer. But I mean, increasingly my ass, because this summer has not been the... Look, I'm going to tell you something. I agree that the summers were getting warmer, because I live here in Central Europe. So, yes, from about 2014, maybe 2012 until 2019, but 2020 was already a bit cooling, okay? 2021, again, it was nothing crazy. Last summer, again, nothing crazy. A few days with like 38 degrees, but that's, it's like whatever. Most of the summer was okay. This summer, I mean, granted, we are only at the beginning of August, so it's not over yet, but the July it's pretty hot. But, the other years we've got June, we've already like over 30 degrees. We didn't have that this summer. So, I mean, yes, we did in July, we did have like a few days of even 36 or something, 37 degrees Celsius. But it's always been the case. And then some weeks it was close to 30 or 30 degrees. But now it's this week it's only between like 20 and 24, which is like actually the even below average. So I don't know what the hell are they really saying, man. Yeah, they're saying okay. Tourism, weather is a major factor in tourism in Europe, North America. People tend to go, from northern countries to southern regions. I don't, because like I prefer staying in the mountains, going to the mountains, if anything, which is like southern from my place, but it's colder there because I don't like going to the like hot places in summer. It's stupid. But anyway, in Europe, the north-south flow, so more hardwired. When Australians go overseas, they often choose Mediterranean summers. Over the last decade, hot summers haven't been a deal breaker. But this year is likely to drive change. You can already see that in the growing popularity of shoulder seasons, June or September, in the traditional Northern Hemisphere summer destinations. Many of us are shifting how we think about the hot weather holidays from something we seek to something we fear. Fear, man. What the hell are you talking about? Fear. This comes on top of customer shifts such as those related to sustainability and flight shame. What the fuck is flight shame? What about disaster tourism? While thrill seekers may be flocking to Death Valley to experience temperatures over 50 degrees Celsius, it's hard to imagine this type of tourism going mainstream. What we're more likely to see is more people seeing last chance experiences, with tourists flocking to highly vulnerable sites such as the Great Barrier Reef. Of course, this type of tourism isn't sustainable long term. Yeah, Death Valley that's a normal temperature for there. So, I mean, what are they trying to do? What does this mean for countries relying on tourism? The crisis in Rhodes shows us the peril of just in time model tourism, where you bring in tourists and everything they need, food, water, wine, as they need it. The system is geared to efficiency, but that means there is a little space for contingencies. Rhodes wasn't able to easily evacuate 19,000 tourists. This approach will have to change to just in case approach, as in other supply chains. For emergency services, so what happened in Rhodes? I don't really get it. They didn't say that. For emergency services, tourists pose a particular challenge. Locals have a better understanding that tourists of risks and escape routes, plus tourists don't speak the language. That makes them much harder to help compared to the locals. Okay, evacuated on the beach, small fishing boats, Cape Sharp, I guess. Okay, there was some fire or whatever. Okay, climate change, but how the fuck does this relate to climate change? What is this?
Sorry.
It didn't really show anything except for some fire in the distance. So fucking yeah, damn, where was the shit? Okay, then they'll go on to say that some tourist places have problem with like water. So does this spell the end of mass tourism? Not entirely, but it will certainly accelerate the trend of in countries like Spain away from mass tourism or over tourism. In super popular tourist destinations like Spain's Balearic Islands, there's been an increasing pushback from locals against over tourism in favor of specialized tourism with smaller numbers spread out over the year. Is this a wake-up call? Yes. The intensifying climate crisis means many of us are now more focused on what we can do to stave off the worst of it by, say, avoiding flights. The pressure for change is growing too. Delta Airlines is being sued over its announcement to go carbon neutral by using offsets, for instance. Mountains, not beaches. Future tourism may look a lot different. That's what I've been saying. That's what I do anyway. So these people are just figuring it now. Idiots. Like, I always go to cold places in summer because I hate the heat, even when it's not like, way too extreme. I don't like the heat, so I go to mountains or somewhere not up, up north, like Scotland. You can already see efforts to adapt to the changes in many countries. In Italy, for instance, domestic mountain tourism is growing. Yeah, I've been there last year in the Italian Alps. It's amazing there. I don't even know why people would go to like Venice or some of these places. Like it's too crowded, and not only that, it's hot as shit. I don't know. Like, people are just figuring it now. Like, the future may look a lot different. Mountains, not beaches. Wow. Yeah. If you were not dumb, you would, already been doing that for the last 10 years or something. Enticing people from hot and humid Milan and Rome up where they are cooler, even if the snow is disappearing. No, it's not. What is this nonsense? Like, I've just returned from the Alps, and there's way more snow than even last year. Okay. What the hell are you talking? They're full of shit, man. They know that most people are not living in the Alps, and most people don't even go there in the summer. So they say, oh yeah, they people will say like, oh yeah, they're saying the Alps, the snow is disappearing there. Oh no, what are we gonna do? But there's fucking a lot of snow. In fact, there's way more snow than last year. The fuck are they? They're lying to you, man. China, which doesn't do things by halves, is investing in mountain resorts. Good. That's good for them. Yeah. The goal here is to offer cooler alternatives like northern China's Jilin province to beach holidays for sweltering residents of mega cities such as Beijing and Shanghai. Yeah, Beijing, Shanghai. I've been to Shanghai and Beijing but in winter time. So it's Shanghai was pretty cold. It was almost freezing there in January. But I don't. Yeah, I suppose the summers are hot there. Some mountainous countries are unlikely to seize the opportunity because they don't want to draw more tourists. Norway is considering a tourist tax. Oh, not again with the taxes, man. Forward-thinking countries will be better prepared, but there are limits to preparation and adaptation. Mediterranean summer holidays will be less and less appealing as the region is a heating hotspot, warming 20% faster than the world average. Italy and Spain are still in the grip of a record-breaking drought, threatening food and water supplies. The future of tourism is going to be very... Yeah, I mean, so what? I mean, you can... I mean, they're saying, like, these things, like, yeah, the tourism will change and whatever. But we've been doing this like all my life. I mean, it was like when I was like 18, 20, we would go in winter, we would go to those Mediterranean or actually Canary Islands, which is even, uh, it's part of Spain, but it's like close to northern Africa, and like actually, sorry, close to like western northwest Africa. So and in summer we would go to mountains. So I mean, it's like, I don't really get it why like people are just like realizing it now, but they could have been doing this all their lives, really, you know. And it's not because suddenly it's, I don't think it's really that, but whatever.